All right, it is time for 10 things that you probably may or may not have known about Joker. Number 10, the laugh. Joaquin Phoenix said that the toughest part of playing Joker was perfecting the laugh. He said it was almost painful and he didn't think he could do it. He asked Todd Phillips to come over and audition it to be sure he could do it on the spot and in front of somebody else because he found it to be extremely uncomfortable.
I know everyone's probably asking you about the laugh.
No, nobody has.
The laugh was based on videos that Phoenix watched of people suffering from pathological laughter. Sample words, sample words, sample words, sample words. That pathological laughter. Today is actually my grandmother's birthday, and she passed away last year. And I say that because I think that I may suffer from pathological laughter somewhere really, really low on the spectrum, because I remember this time, and we saw hearses today, which made me think of this. When I'll never forget the day that my grandmother's mom died, my great-grandmother. I was probably like 8 or 9, and my grandmother was sitting in my great-grandmother's house because she was too emotional to go to the funeral, but she was sitting by the window so she could at least see the hearse drive by. And when the hearse finally drove by, my grandmother she had an appropriate emotional reaction. Seeing her deceased mother drive by in a hearse, she started crying very, intensely. My natural reaction inside of me, and I had to go into the other room, and I don't know where it came from, but I just started laughing. I start, hysterically laughing, to the point, when you're in a classroom and somebody says you can't laugh, and you have that feeling like you have to laugh. It was that feeling. So, yeah.
That goes to the core of what they say: people deal with pain differently. You can't tell someone how to deal with pain. Now, number 9, wait for it. Joaquin Phoenix dropped 52 pounds for the role, as David loves, because he said he was prepared for the feelings of hunger, vulnerability, and weakness, but did not anticipate a feeling of fluidity that can be physically felt. He said he felt like he could have moved his body in ways he hadn't been able to move before, was really lent itself to some of the physical movements that started to emerge as an important part of the character that was.
Now, he also underwent a mental transformation that had co-stars waiting, bring it back to the wait for him on set. According to Todd Phillips, Phoenix lost his composure on set, sometimes to the bafflement of his co-stars. In the middle of the scene, he'll just walk out, Phillips said. He remembered Phoenix reassuring him after an especially tense moment, "We'll take a walk, and we'll come back, and we'll do it." Which is weird that he referred to himself as we, like he was seriously embodying the schizophrenic version of the Joker.
Well, we'll get there.
The co-stars were often left to wonder if it was them that Phoenix was upset with, but Phillips said it never was. It was always him. He just wasn't feeling it. He was very hard on himself when it came to the portrayal of that character.
Number 8, love letter for comedians. Author aspires to be a stand-up comedian, and Joker definitely shows love to real-life stand-up comedians, featuring a good handful in the film, including Gary Goldman, Brian Callen, and Mark Maron.
Rest in peace to Brian Callen, by the way.
You're right.
He didn't die, but he did get canceled.
Oh, and the joke that author tells: when I was a little boy and told people I was going to be a comedian, everyone laughed at me. Well, no one's laughing now, is a paraphrase of a joke written by the late beloved British comedian Bob Monkhouse.
Number 7, Joker Pie. Joaquin Phoenix said that Ray Bolger heavily influenced Joker's quirky dance moves, particularly from the Old Soft Shoe video that he was shown. He credited Tim Curry's performance in the Rocky Horror Picture Show as one of his inspirations for his version of the Joker, which actually checks out because I didn't really pick up on it until this time around watching it, but his version of the Joker is very how do I say this? You would wonder which way he swings, and you could never really be sure as far as his sexual orientation. I mean, but it's based on the movie, he's obviously attracted to girls, but the way his mannerisms,
You don't have to guess. You don't have to guess. First off, I've never thought about the Joker's
sexuality.
Just
the way he says, Murray.
Come on, Murray. Murray. How about another joke, Murray?
No, I don't have to guess. I've never had to guess about the Joker's sexuality. I've never even thought about it, but with that being said, he's had some of the baddest comic bitches there are out there.
Yeah, that's true, but I also think he's crazy, so he'll fuck anything. It's not even about gay or straight. It's just a domination. But I mean, you could definitely see the inspiration of Tim Curry's Frankenfurter in Joker.
Number 6, influences. The filmmakers cite Alan Moore's comic, The Killing Joke, which tells the Joker's origin story, allegedly, as well as the Martin Scorsese film Taxi Driver, Raging Bull, De Niro, and the King of Comedy, as influences on the film. Phillips and Silver also cited the silent film, The Man Who Laughs, as an early reference point for the film.
Number 5, award worthy. Joker was Joaquin Phoenix's 4th Oscar nomination and his first ever win, making him the 2nd actor awarded for their swing at the Joker. Heath Ledger posthumously received the award for The Dark Knight. Joker also earned Phoenix a Golden Globe and Screen Actors Guild Award. Todd.
SAG.
Is that? Oh yeah, okay.
You okay?
I got my pants sagging. I'm not fronting.
Pants on the ground, looking like a fool with your pants on the ground. Todd.
Todd Phillips was nominated for Best Director at the Academy Awards, the first time this has ever happened for a comic book film. Joker is the 2nd comic book film to be nominated for a Best Picture Oscar, the first film being the Black Panther a year prior. Joker had the most nominations than any other film in the 2020 Oscars with a total of 11.
I request elaboration, and shall I say I disagree because this is not a comic book film. Continue. Number 4, The Blue Boy. In Arthur's home, there's a painting above the television of The Blue Boy by Thomas Gainsborough. The same painting can be seen in Tim Burton's 1989 Batman in the art museum scene.
Isn't that crazy?
It is.
Same painting, and I double checked it before I put it in there to make sure I had the screenshots. It's in that scene where they're throwing the paint all over all the artwork, and Jack was like, no, not this one.
Hey, talk about a cameo. Easter egg.
We're back to the rats. Number 3, rats. Super rats are mentioned on the news early in the film. So on top of digitally manipulating the landscape of New York to take it back in time and transform it to a Gotham like we've never seen before, giant rats were also added into a few key scenes, adding to the disturbing atmosphere already present in the movie. You could spot them when Arthur is talking in the phone booth, when he is chasing down the last dude outside the subway, and when young Bruce is crying over his dead parents.
I know I gave you shit for that, but I'm glad that was your number, not mine. Because he just listening to it's like a tongue twister that doesn't exist.
Yeah.
But it's there. All right. Speaking of that, number 2, improvised. Many fantastic moments were improvised in the film. Joaquin Phoenix improvised the dance in the bathroom, having just heard the score for the film played from Todd Phillips' iPhone. Should have had an Android. Also, Phoenix also improvised climbing into the refrigerator. Talk about a cold take. And also the argument between Arthur and Thomas Wayne was improvised. Seemed real to me.
That's crazy that the scene between Arthur and Thomas Wayne was improvised, because that is such a pivotal moment in the film, and there's so many plot points that are conveyed in that moment. So to improvise that and nail all those points is pretty impressive.
Oh, I hope you're ready.
Time will tell.
Yes,
Number 1. So time will tell. Time will always tell. Though there were great measures taken to create the time and place of 1981 Gotham, there's a few details that slip through the cracks, such as, and bear in mind, this is pet peeve shit, but nonetheless.
This is not stuff you came up with. This was on the net.
You're telling me it's 1981, and there are some suggestions in the movie that would say otherwise. Energizer Bunny is shown in TV advertisements, but the mascot was not introduced until 1988.
Allegedly.
A Kellogg's ad plays with Keanu Reeves, but the ad did not actually come out until 1987.
Bill and Ted.
As the police car pulls out of Murray's studio, an empty New York City bike share rack can be seen on the right side of the frame.
What's wrong with sharing a bike?
Well,
I know. It's a hoverboard, man. It's real.
The ambulance that hits the squad car is the 4th generation Ford Ecoline, which didn't go into production until 1992.
That might be the ambulance that was in Die Hard that showed up at the end and no one talks about. Go ahead.
Okay. Kenny's Music has a window full of 2018 D'Angelico guitars. When Arthur is confronted by the detectives outside the hospital and has a comical issue with the automatic doors, he waves his hand to trigger the sensor, but these kinds of sensors were extremely uncommon in 1981. It would have most likely been a floor mat with a weight sensor.
That's not what really happened.
Contemporary era toys and dolls that didn't exist until long after 1981 are seen in the children's hospital room when he drops the gun. In a scene in the Metro precinct.
If that one line right there, if you were to do an elevator pitch for this film and that's all I heard, I'm watching it. Say it again. Read it again.
Contemporary era toys and dolls that didn't exist until long after 1981 are seen in the children's hospital room where he drops the gun.
Children hospital toys, guns,
yeah,
1981, coats out.
So those are your 10 facts about Joker.